So in our last video, we saw a little clip about childhood experiences and that they might create a form of imprinting. And in our next video, we're going to talk about the scientific theory of love. But I thought on this video, I'd just do a short brain diagram of this. So this structure right here is called the amygdala, and it's controversial, but a lot of neuroscientists believe that this is a structure that's like heavily involved in emotions. And so they believe that there's a nucleus, which is a cluster of cells for fear, and there's a nucleus for rage, and there's a nucleus for bonding. And so when we say there's a thin line between love and hate, the thin line would be within this amygdala. So we find that the person that we love the most can make us the most angry, and they believe because the cell firing when we're bonded to somebody, it could stretch over to what causes us so much anger. And then we're also going to talk about how in the next module about how respect is so important, and can you fall passionately in love with someone that you feel like you can walk all over? Is it possible to feel that passion? Or do you feel more passionate about somebody who kind of puts you in your place, who doesn't stand for like what you want? And so there's a nucleus in here for fear. And so what respect is like kind of fearing that you might lose their favor in some way. I have respect for them, like, wow, I look up to them. I have a fear that I could disappoint them. And so when these nuclei are clustered together, like one feeding off of the other can create intensity in the other, because like when a neuron sends a signal, its signal can radiate. And so they believe that, these three emotions are tightly intertwined. And also this imprinting, it seems to be something that's just unconscious. Like I say, oh, can you control who you're attracted to? And I don't think any of you do control who you're attracted to. In fact, I think a lot of you might say, oh, I wish I was attracted to this type of person, but I'm not attracted to this type of person. And sometimes we see ourselves being attracted to the wrong kind of person for us. And, we wish we could control it, but that instant chemistry that we feel between people, it could be from we talked about the pheromones. So see here, right here, these green things right here are the olfactory bulbs. So when we talked about pheromones, they kind of come in, and do you see how they feed into this system here? This is the limbic system. So what is chemistry? Chemistry is probably a combination of the pheromones and maybe our childhood experiences, and it works at an unconscious level because these are all unconscious structures here. And then if we go to this is the slide that I was trying to get to, is the frontal lobe. So the frontal lobe is kind of more of our conscious, where we kind of rein things in. And then the slide before that is kind of the unconscious, more the amygdala, the limbic system. And we talk about how when we get sexually aroused, we don't make good decisions because there's something called amygdala hijacking. And so when we lose control and we have this fit of rage, it kind of shuts down this frontal lobe here. And so we do things that we kind of regret sometimes when we're under the influence of strong sexual desire. Alcohol can shut down the frontal lobe. So when our frontal lobe is not strong, then what happens is this can kind of take over. And when we get to the paraphilias and kind of the abnormal behaviors and rape and things like that, we find out that in many cases what they'll be preceded by is stress, or the number one date rape drug is alcohol, because this frontal lobe keeps these in check. And if this frontal lobe is shut down, which that's what happens under stress, that's what happens under strong sexual arousal, and this takes over, we don't make good logical choices. Okay, well, we'll go on to the next one on scientific theory of love.